There we go. I knew it was in there somewhere. Okay. Talk to the gate guard. And so we'll have to pay attention to the bottom right to, figure out who we're looking at. I need Awakening of the Gods. Okay. A mission has been issued by the Renastri. They must have been in a hurry-worry, as there's not much written here. Please talk to Lepehape on the second floor of the Renastri for details. So... missions, nations, awakening the gods. Yeah, you can see that. Cool. Awakening of the Gods. Mission orders. Renastri Minister Okutsusu has traveled to Elshima to investigate the facts concerning Iru Kairu, a researcher from 30 years past. Renastri has asked you to help bring the minister back for her own safety. Oh, here he is. Let's see. You've come. You're here. No more to fear. I want you to stop Minister Rukutsusu. She ran off on the trail of Mr. Iru Kairu, all the way to the southern continent. It's terribly dangerous in any event. Ask Kerutoto for greater detail. She's on the first floor with the whole sorry tale. I actually really like that character. I love the rhyme. I wish I were better at reading it, just offhand. Yep. Oh, this is the sleeping Taru. Let's see. Soja. Have you talked with Lepe Hoppe on the second floor? The truth of it is, Mr. Rukususu made an important Daru discovery in Feyin and brought back an item with her. I can't Daru explain what the item was exactly, but it gave me the heebie-jeebers. When I meditated on it, I sensed something unusual. Do you know of Iru Kairu? Excuse me, Iru Kuiru? Iru Kuiru, Iru Kuiru, Iru Kuiru, Iru Kuiru. Do you know Iru Kuiru? Kuiru? Yeah, do you know Iru Kuiru? He was a member of the multinational expedition that traveled to the Northlands 30 years ago and was originally a biology researcher for the Renastri. I could feel his spirit. He seemed to be somewhere on the southern continent. When I told this to Minister Okususu, she immediately took off in a terrible scurry hurry. I told this to Minister Okususu, she immediately took off in a terrible scurry hurry. Okususu, yeah. What is it between those two? It was definitely not the reaction I was expecting. Alright, let's head to the southern continent. And talk to some people and see what's there. The southern continent's gonna be Elshimolo. must not have maps. Why would that do that? It's just not loading maps for this area. Oh well, who knows? Need to go to the airport. Ah, no. I wasn't expecting Minister Rukususu to come here and begin her research on Elshima so soon. However, when I offered to show it to her the Johtor jungle and the Sea Serpent Grotto, she turned me down and sent Daru off on her own. All alone in the jungle with those tanberries. I hope she's alright, Daru. Okay. Roma Migo. Amigo. Ususu. She said she was looking for a certain Iru Kuriru. This Iru Kuriru was banished to the Temple of Ugulapa years ago. If you want to find Rukususu, that is where you should start searching. Lady. I don't know how to word that. Maybe that's not the right way to say that, but we'll see. Up the stairs, follow the left wall. Maledictor. No, he's coming after me. Right? Yeah, he's attacked. Alright, let's use the cursed key. Cutscene, there we go. Aren't you the adventurers that helped with that Svein talisman affair? You were looking for more? And why might that be? I see. Lepe Hoppe is such a worrywart. He feels that I will share the same fate as poor Iru Kuiru. He wanted to know how Windurst came to be, and who led our Daru ancestors to our current home. The members of the Rhinostery, however, were not happy with his research. They are happy to believe that our ancestors were guided by a wondrous star, the same star that watches over us. But Iru Kuiru must have discovered something on his sojourn to the Northland. It was enough to make him leave the Rhinostery and find his way here. And this is where Iru Kuiru met his demise. The things that Kirutoto saw in her meditations. It may have been Iru Kuiru's way of calling me here to show me the truth. To let me know that. Children of Windurst, thou journeyed far. The very same children we led to the land of promise so many years ago. Who are you? I am Graviton Berasachi. I am what hath become of the Kulu. The Kuru? One of the two ancient races mentioned in Iru Kuiru's works, the Kuru and the Zylat. That one of these ancients has survived here until present day. Tell me, is the Kuru a race of immortals? No, we are not. I am no longer part of this world. What lingers here are merely my thoughts and memories. Star Civil, dost thou not remember? The long distant past when I still breathed? When the wee Kulu led thy people to the land of the moon? Is the truth not handed down through the generations? Surely thou hast not lost the power of Horutoto given to the first Star Sibyl. What do you mean? The Kuru built the Horutoto? I can't even begin to understand it. But if it's the towers and the Horutoto ruins you are referring to, they ceased to function 20 years ago. It cannot be. If what thou sayest be true, the great beast of the moon will be unleashed upon the land. Those towers were built to convert the moonlight that bathes the land into energy. If the towers are no longer function, the moonlight's power will take the shape of a great, roaming fiend. Is the Diza star given to the first Star Sibyl yet within thy possession? I'm afraid you are mistaken. I am not the Star Sibyl. I am the Minister of the Rhinostery, one of the 5 ministries that serve Her Holiness. Are not the Star Sibyl? Then why does thine attendant carry her tome? I can sense its aura surrounding her. That book was written by the first Star Sibyl using the power of the moon. Huh? I see. The tome lost its power when the towers fell into ruin. Well, I should not be overly surprised, as it hath been several thousand years. However, my little ones, I cannot bear to see thee so distressed. As we guided thine ancestors to the land of the moon many years ago, I will now guide thee in this matter. I will use my power to return magic to the tome. My strength pales in comparison to that of the moon, however. The contents of the book will soon fade, but I pray this act may be of some small assistance. You're awake. The Kuru Elder vanished in that burst of light. If what she said is true, we have learned of some amazing historical facts here today. It proves the theory put forth by Iru Kuiru. Take that tome directly to Windurst and show it to Minister Ajido Marujito of the Orestery. He would be the only person capable of reading it. got the Book of the Gods. Magic tome written on the subject of Feyen. I'd like to bring attention to the many small chambers that exist in the subterranean levels of the ruins of Feyen. In each of these chambers stands an automaton, a golem, or a giant, if you will. Stands an automaton, a golem, or giant, if you will. Were these golems given the task of sentry or simply employed as servants? It is possible to conclude from the artifacts discovered in these ruins that it was once the abode of the ancient people. One can further deduce from the evidence that this civilization was wiped out by some sudden calamity. A workbook written by Iru Kuiru. That place was most definitely cursed. It was as if each of us were having our strings pulled by some unseen force. The goddess only knows what that power was. I knew fear like I had never known before, and was struck mindless with panic before the terror that lurked within those walls. Diary. A letter has arrived from the homeland. The Sandorian member of the Allied expedition, Frankmaj Mistel, has lost his life to the curse. And then yesterday, my friend and fellow Allied explorer Rabanda was taken from this world. I can feel the shadow closing in on me. I believe the darkness will claim me before I am able to finish this research. And I was so close to putting all the pieces of this legend together. Any more? Yeah, okay. The funny thing about making these videos is I know that Lepe Hoppe is on the roof. This guy actually rhymes, I love him. You're back. Is the minister safe and sound? Just a moment. Just start her a moment. I don't see her around. Don't tell me you've returned and left her behind. Explain yourself, adventurer. Have you lost your mind? What are you shouting about? It is moi you are looking for. I'm right. If it's moi you're looking for, I'm right here. Minister Uksusu, it's so good to see you. It seems my Uranostri peers have been quite worried about poor moi. Of course, we are always going to worry whenever you take off in such a big hurry. Metasmith, thank you for all you've done. I have one necessary favor to ask of you. Please keep what you saw in that place just between you and moi. Now is not the time to be explaining that particular truth to everyone. The matter you heard about in the temple of Ugulape is far too upsetting for us Taru to cope with today. Rank 8. So like the next mission requires me to go to Romave.